Good morning, public speakers. If you've watched the clip above, you know that you are not the only person to suffer from fear of public speaking. This is a very common issue that a lot of people deal with. As you prepare for your speech this week, you might find that you're feeling symptoms of anxiety or stress when it comes to speaking in front of people. In fact, in Practically Speaking by Rothwell, the textbook that I used for my 103 or public speaking class, he estimates that over 70% of people suffer from what's known as glossophobia or fear of public speaking. But I want you to know there are ways to combat this. So the first way that's recommended is positive self-talk. So you know that intrapersonal dialogue that not interpersonal, but intrapersonal dialogue that goes on inside of us. Don't let it be negative. I see so many students psych themselves out, and really there's nothing I can do to help you when you do this, when you get inside your own head and are having those negative thoughts. Practice positive self-talk within yourself. There's been incidents where students have actually shown up for their speech on their speech day and have ran out the door because they just psych themselves out. Don't do this. I want you to succeed. I believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself. The second thing you can do is get a good night's sleep and eat a proper breakfast before coming to class. If you're eating sugary donuts or like a ton of coffee, you'll make yourself really, really jittery. But eat a good, balanced, nutritional meal before coming to class. Speaking of that as well, I bring in, well, this isn't maybe very nutritional, but my favorite snack are oranges and chocolates, so I'm going to bring in that for the class. Bring in whatever you need to the class to sustain yourself. It's going to be a really long speaking day, so if you want to bring in something just for yourself or for the class, you're more than welcome to bring in whatever you need to. Just be prepared for a long day. And the last thing you can do, and the very most important thing you can do to reduce your speech anxiety, is to be prepared. Be prepared. I can't emphasize that enough. I know this is a really short amount of time that you've been given to prepare your speech. The deadlines came up fast, but it's because this is a really short class. Usually in my other public speaking classes, we have a whole semester to work up to these and to get comfortable with the classroom. But this is an accelerated class that you've chosen to do, and so it's going to be a little bit different of an experience, but you can do it. I believe in you, and I want to help set you up for success. So I want to go over some things. The first thing you should do today is to get your paperwork in order. By now you all have feedback to your informative speech outlines that you turned in, the first draft. Let me just say this is the first draft that you turned in. I am not by any means expecting it to be exactly what you turn in to me on your speech day this week. So let me just show you really quickly what I do when I pull up your outline. So this is the sample outline, by the way, but I've changed some things in it so that we can, so that I can show you what I do. So the reason I have you turn it in a Word document is because I use what's called the track changes tool. So the first thing I do is go up here. I make sure that this is ticked, the different first page. You have the running head according to APA standards. So APA is American Psychological Association. Many of you are like, why are we using this? We use MLA. So MLA is used in English. MLA and APA it's like having an apple and an orange. They're both fruit, but they're different kinds of fruit. MLA and APA are both formatting styles, but they're different types of formatting styles. You might be using APA later on in your field. It's used in psychology education, and then fields like this, communication studies. So it's possible you might be using it later on. So that's why I use it in my class. All right, so you have your running head on the first page and no other subsequent pages. Your title should be in caps like this. When you mark on here to put a page number in, it's going, let's just do it now. It's going to default in Calibre style format. So the way you change that is by selecting everything and go to Home, Times New Roman, and 12-point font. So see, I've just, the only thing that I've done is change the style of this, this font style of the page number, and it's already made 3 different seemingly daunting formatting differences. Alright, so after I do that, I'll click out of that. Usually what I do is push Command A or Control A, whatever computer you're using, and do Times New Roman, 12-point font, and make sure everything is double spaced. Now, if everything wasn't double spaced, it's going to throw off some of the formatting. So I'll delete that, and then I don't want any space at the top. So you see how this wasn't in Times New Roman font. So it's going to make a note here that I formatted it to Times New Roman 12-point font. Sometimes students get these back, and it's really daunting having all of this formatting crap on the side. It looks like it's all marked up, and it doesn't look friendly. So I'm noticing right now that this is off according to the rubric that we're going to go over. You know, of course, in the conclusion, you want to restate your thesis and main points. That's annoying. Okay, and then you want to have your closing. So when I get this back as a student, this is the whole complete packet, by the way. Some of you just turned in your outline, which is great. You might go to review, and then changes, and then I would just say accept all changes, and then you don't see that markup on the side. All right. So then you're working from a clean version of your packet. All right. So what you want to do today is just get all of this paperwork in order so that you have it printed off, and then tomorrow or whenever your speech is this week, you can just come into that day with your paperwork in order. It's kind of like you're going to a job interview. What do they have at the job interview first before you go in there? They have your resume or application. So they already have the paperwork, and you've set yourself up for success that way. So in this way, set yourself up for success by printing off your packet and handing it to me when you come in. And then you'll have your oral presentation to do. So get this in order today. If you're questioning what is due exactly in the packet, go to Assignments, Research Oral Presentation. And then it says right here, due on the day of your speech. You have your, but of course, you need a title page because that's APA, but you have your alphanumeric outline, your resources page, your visual aids page, and your checklist. Some of you have been asking what your checklist is. So your checklist was already attached on the very back of the informative speech template sample. I'll bring it up again. This was on the very back of the sample, so you can just choose to print just page 6, it looks like, or page 5. There we go. So you can just print off this page and check the boxes. For some reason, I don't know why it is, but students don't check the boxes, and there are points in there for checking the boxes. This is made for you. It says, I have my preview list of all 3 main items. Like, this is a tool for you to use to check that you have met all the qualifications. So check these boxes to show that you've checked these checklists. Okay. Also, something else I've done for you, if you go back into research oral presentation, if you scroll to the bottom, I've pulled up the checklist in a PDF version for you. So if it's easier for you to print off of that, just go to print page 5 again. All right,